Hello, and thanks for viewing the ASU Study Abroad Office's workshop on effectively marketing your program and student financial aid tips. The aim of this webinar is to empower you to effectively market your study abroad program in order to recruit the required number of students you will need to run your program. Because financing study abroad is a major concern of students, we have decided to include some tips about financial aid and scholarships so that you are prepared to generally respond to students' questions about financing study abroad as a way to encourage students to pursue your program. We are fortunate to be at a university that values international education. President Crow and his model for the New American University establishes a supportive culture for study abroad through one of his 8 design aspirations, engage globally. As you talk to students about studying abroad, be sure to capitalize upon the fact that ASU is creating a culture where international experiences are important. ASU is scaling local solutions for global impact, fostering local and international student experiences, and building diverse partnerships, and your study abroad program is an excellent way to connect students to this university mission. If students feel that engaging in an international experience at ASU is an encouraged and expected phenomenon, then they may be more likely to consider studying abroad on your program. When it comes to recruiting students for your faculty-directed program, you, as the faculty director, are the most important aspect. In surveying students about how they found out about their program, they indicated that they heard about it from their professor. If students are going to pay thousands of dollars to go abroad on a faculty-directed program, they're going to want to go with someone they trust and find engaging. So make sure that you are talking to all of your students about this opportunity. Don't underestimate the amount of trust your students have in you. Let them know why this is an experience that is important for their academic and professional futures. Be explicit with the benefits they will gain on the program and the experiences that await them. Build excitement early on and continually tie in references to your program and the current courses you are teaching. Make sure that your colleagues are also talking about your program to their students or inviting you to briefly speak about it in their classes. ASU offers 3 types of study abroad programs: exchange, partnership, and faculty-directed programs. Of these 3 types, faculty-directed programs are by far the most popular type. 63% of ASU students who study abroad do so on a faculty-directed program. There are several reasons why students prefer to study abroad on a faculty-directed program, so make sure to capitalize on these points in your marketing. For instance, students, especially those who have not traveled abroad before, like the idea of traveling with a trusted ASU professor. If you are speaking to a cohort of freshmen or sophomore students who are likely to be less experienced with travel, make sure to let them know that your program will afford them the opportunity to create strong bonds with peers and professors who will all look out for one another during the program. As programs usually are small cohorts, between 10 to 20 students, this is also a great way for students to get to know faculty better and can be great for future letters of recommendation for graduate school. Faculty-directed programs offer the opportunity to really dive into a particular topic. If there are opportunities to highlight your research interest on your program, let students know that they will be exposed to that. Faculty-directed programs are short-term, usually between 2 to 8 weeks, and the short duration is attractive to the busy college student. If applicable, let students know that they can participate on the program and they still might be able to come back and get a summer job or internship or take other summer courses. A short duration is also appreciated by students whose majors have complicated major maps that do not offer them a chance to study abroad for longer. Parents and loved ones also need to be considered when marketing your program, and they also like the idea of an ASU-sponsored program. Let students know that all faculty-directed programs are carefully vetted by ASU and offer robust health and safety support, including health insurance for international programs. Finally, faculty-directed programs are great because they are pre-planned. Students benefit from all of the great work you do in planning the program, as they are taken to see amazing sights, oftentimes to places that are off the beaten path that they might not be exposed to if they were traveling on their own. Let students know of all the exceptional experiences they are likely to have as a result of the careful planning you will do for the program.
One of the marketing tools the Study Abroad Office will provide you with is promotional flyers specific to your program. Shortly after your program is approved, you will be contacted by your international coordinator about creating this flyer. We have a template, and we simply need from you the information contained on the flyer, and with that information we create the flyer. The flyer contains a brief description of your program and all the basic information such as dates and contact information. Until the budget of your program is approved, the program fee will appear as TBD. The goal is to at least have the program flyer ready for the Study Abroad Fair in the fall. Finally, note that there are about 3 photographs required for your flyer. Photos should be of good quality. Photos can be in color, black and white, or sepia tones. While color photos draw the eye, it can also be the case that black and white or sepia tone images are more attractive or more appropriate. Photos that recognizably identify the location of your program are good, but sometimes the most fascinating photos are the features more off the trodden path. For example, a photo of the Eiffel Tower will instantly say Paris, but a photo of a student or a group of students at a cafe or visiting a village might be more interesting for a prospective student. We prefer candid or action photos rather than posed shots. You want your audience to imagine themselves on your program. Photos that include students, especially in ASU apparel, interacting with locals or taking part in an activity will raise prospective students' interest and give them a taste of what to expect on the program. Once we have created the flyer, we will provide you with a number of professionally printed copies, as well as a PDF version for electronic distribution and for printing additional copies as necessary. Distribute the flyers in your classroom and try to have them with you at all times to hand out to students you encounter that may be interested in your program. Distribute the flyers throughout your department and post the flyer on Blackboard. Keep in mind that other academic units that may also have students interested in your program. For example, the Study Abroad program sponsored by the Film and Media Studies Department in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences may also be very attractive to the film students in the Herberger Institute for Design and the Arts. Visit other classes besides your own too and distribute the flyers. Your international coordinator would be happy to visit the classes with you and to explain the application process and any other Study Abroad office related questions the students may have. Provide the academic advisors in your department or school with copies of your flyers so that they can share them with the students they meet on a regular basis, and provide them with other relevant departments besides your own as well. Academic advisors will also have access to the email lists of all relevant majors. Ask them to please send the PDF flyer to those students. Finally, the academic advisors may have other innovative ideas or suggestions for promoting your program. Your program flyers will also be an important tool for the Study Abroad Fair in the fall and the Study Abroad Expo in the spring. The Study Abroad office will provide you with 100 copies for those events. You may want to print and bring additional copies if you think you'll need extras. Ultimately, the purpose of your flyer and the promotion that you do with it is to capture students' interest so that they later visit the program's web brochure and apply to your program. You will have your own web page within the ASU Study Abroad website called a Program Web Brochure. It is directly from your web brochure page that students will be able to click the Apply Now button and apply to your program. The web brochure will be your program's landing page, and it's where the full academic, location, housing, and cost details for your program will be, as well as additional resources. Shortly after your program is approved, you will be contacted by your international coordinator about creating or editing your program's web brochure. If your program is a new program that hasn't run in the past, you will receive a template requesting all the information we need. If your program has run in the past, your web brochure already exists, and you will be asked to review it and let your international coordinator know what changes need to be made. Please note that the web brochure needs to be very accurate, as any aspects of the program that we portray on the web brochure we must then follow through with on the program. For example, if we state in the housing details on the brochure that students will share double rooms during the program, but then it turns out we have 3 or 4 students per room, we will then be responsible for not having accurately portrayed the program. Until your program has an approved budget, it will not be opened for applications, and a note will appear that the application is not yet available. However, students can still save the program as a favorite. If a student does this, they will then receive an email as soon as the program is open for applications, inviting them to apply. Until your program is open for applications, encourage your students to save the program as a favorite. This will give us a big head start when the program does start accepting applications, because students won't have to check the application every day, and we can access the list of students that have saved the program as a favorite and reach out to them.
Slide 9, social media. This is a fantastic opportunity to connect with students through a medium that millennials spend a significant amount of their day outside of classroom connecting with others. The use of social media can be a tool in not only increasing your program enrollments, but also serve as a useful way to connect participants both before, during, and after your program. Let's discuss a few best practices used by past faculty directors. First and foremost, you should start by creating a Facebook group. This will serve as a way for students to connect both before, during, and after your program, as a lot of students will use the Facebook group to connect with students prior to pre-departure and throughout their time on the program. You may also want to consider creating a hashtag for your program. A hashtag works as an electronic filing system and can be used via Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. This will allow your program to receive more recognition through social media. Find out if your college has a college Facebook page, Twitter page, or Instagram page. Consider asking them to share a copy of your program flyer or to tweet a link to your web brochure or any other relevant program information. Also, if you have video footage or photos from your program, you may want to consider making a YouTube video to showcase your program location, coursework, and student interviews throughout the program. If you do not yet have a video footage for your program, because your program has not ran before, you can create a short video clip introducing yourself and key aspects of your program. Keep video clips short and between 2 to 3 minutes to keep students really interested. Let's take a look at an example of one of our faculty director's videos for her program.
So we all have cultural assumptions based on the families and societies that we're raised in, and studying abroad is a really important opportunity to be able to understand what these assumptions are actually, and understand that things that we think are universal often are not in terms of values and priorities, and that other societies and cultures might see things in a slightly different way. So this program, both through the research and the cultural learning that takes place, allows students to sort of take a look at their own cultural assumptions and really understand more about themselves and their own culture.
one solution. There's never one way to fix every necessary. It's like you have to get out there and experience things firsthand and meet people and really like create like tangible experiences to learn.
Now that we've talked about social media, let's move on and talk more about program promotion within your academic unit. This is an essential part of a successful program. In this section, we will review 5 areas to consider when planning your program promotion within your academic unit and throughout ASU. One way to recruit ASU students for your program is by visiting classrooms. You want to start with asking for the first 5 minutes of a colleague's class to discuss your program. During this time, either yourself or a TA can visit a classroom with a prepared presentation of about 2 to 3 minutes, possibly a PowerPoint, and take lots of flyers with you. You may also want to consider asking your college to visit the ASU 101 classes offered to freshmen. These courses are designed to prepare freshmen for entry to ASU and often are housed within the academic unit. They often are looking for topics to cover and are very happy for faculty directors to come in to speak about study abroad opportunities. You also may want to consider requesting to join an advisor meeting within your college to inform them about your program. Again, it's very important to take program flyers with you and also follow up with an electronic email. There are also college-specific meetings for advisors and also a university-wide Council of Academic Advisors called CA. CA meets once a month, and you may want to consider asking if you could attend the meeting to distribute flyers and discuss program specifics for your summer study abroad program. Blackboard is a tool you can use to reach students as well. Take advantage of promoting your program via your course through Blackboard. Also, you may want to ask your colleagues teaching courses to display a program flyer or an announcement within their Blackboard highlighting your program and the course specifics. You can also use the College Box within MyASU. The College Box is a specific area in a student's MyASU directly above to the right of their class schedule that will display a sort of electronic flyer. In this College Box, you could display information about your program and include a clickable link to an article or your web brochure or an electronic flyer. This information will be displayed in their MyASU when they sign in. Electronic print and communication. You may want to consider asking your college to write an article for the ASU News to showcase your upcoming program. This article could showcase your program location, course information, and specific program details. If your program has ran before, you may also want to display a photo or two in the article. Once you have received your program flyers from the Study Abroad office, you will want to distribute those flyers to academic advisors and support staff who meet with students. If you choose to go to an advisor meeting, this would be a great opportunity to distribute those flyers. Remember, you will receive 100 professionally printed flyers directly before the Study Abroad Fair and another 100 professionally printed directly before the Spring Expo. Also, ask your college to send periodic email blasts to all students within certain academic majors with your program flyer and a link to the web brochure page. This is a great way to reach ASU Online students as well. Make sure to include captivating text and images to excite students within that email. Consider asking areas with flat screen monitors if they would be willing to display your program information on them. You can make this request within your college, but also various offices around the university, such as the Memorial Union or University Housing. Lastly, find out if your college or academic majors have a newsletter that goes out to students. If so, you can request to have a section on your program displayed as a write-up within that newspaper. Information sessions. You may want to consider hosting an information session and presenting on your specific program. You want to advertise this information session through all of the mediums we have outlined in this presentation thus far. Remember, your international coordinator is more than happy to attend and assist with speaking responsibilities as well. There's a template within your risk management application within Study Abroad that you can fill out for your specific program. The format is in a PowerPoint. Remember, you're not just going to stand up there and speak. Prepare a short slideshow and presentation, balance academics with fun and cultural excursions, and also talk with students where they're going to be living, and remember to display a lot of pictures to get them excited. Another option you may want to consider is recruiting non-ASU students for your program. In this section, we'll cover outreach to non-ASU students. To outreach to non-ASU students, you may want to consider utilizing your networks through your academic discipline and colleagues that may work at other schools or universities. Another area is national listservs. A lot of faculty have had success through having blasts sent through a national listserv that target audience similar to your academic discipline or program area. You may also want to consider requesting faculty from other universities to promote your program within their academic unit by sending out an email blast within their specific department. While not all programs allow non-ASU students, that is a decision to be based on a program-by-program basis. If you have specific questions about this, please discuss them with your international coordinator.
The Study Abroad office holds an annual Study Abroad fair, and it is the largest marketing event each year, seeing over 1,000 students. This can be a great place to let students know about your program, both for the current year and for future years. The fair usually takes place in mid-November in the Memorial Union. The Study Abroad office markets the fair in several ways. Press packets about the fair will be sent to advisors and campus partners so they can promote the fair to their students. The banners on My ASU will feature advertisements about it, so all students logging in will see this information. Additionally, we have banners on Palm Walk and the Memorial Union and other key locations. On the day of the fair, each faculty director is invited to have a table for their program. Here are some do's and don'ts to make sure you have an engaging presence at the fair. Make sure you create a visually captivating display on your table. You could consider bringing country flags or photos, or maybe even a tablet with a slideshow from your program. Don't be buried in your phone or tablet. Make sure that you look approachable so students will come talk to you about your program. Make sure that the information that you're giving out at your table and talking about with students matches the information that the SAO has on your program's website. We don't want to falsify any information about the program or send conflicting messages. Remember the power of peer-to-peer marketing and invite student ambassadors or past program participants to help market your program. In addition to the fair, the Study Abroad office organizes a smaller scale event that focuses mainly on our faculty-directed programs. The Faculty-Directed Programs Expo takes place in the spring semester, usually in late January or early February. This event is meant to give you a final push for enrollments as the March 1st application deadline approaches for students. The event is a unique way to promote your program since it typically is held outdoors on Hayden Lawn. This allows for you to potentially reach students who might not otherwise think to look into study abroad. Make sure to consider the same tips we shared for the fair for effectively engaging students at the expo.
As you work to market your program this year, you'll likely be asked about how students can afford to participate. We know that finances are one of the main concerns of our students, so in order to recruit as effectively as possible, we want to offer a brief overview of the 3 main ways we suggest students finance their study abroad programs. First, students can use their financial aid to study on a summer faculty-directed program, but only if they have aid left over from the fall and spring. Financial aid disperses on a yearly cycle, fall, spring, and then summer. As you're recruiting this fall, encourage students to be strategic about how much of their aid they accept for the fall and spring so that they have some left over to use for the summer. In order to be eligible for financial aid, students must have a FAFSA on file and they must be enrolled at least half-time. For undergraduates, this is 6 credit hours in the summer, and for graduate students, it's 5 credit hours. It may be that you're directing a study abroad program that only offers 3 credits. Based on the dates of your program, highlight opportunities for students to either take a class before the program starts on campus or return to campus and take a second class once the program ends in order for them to meet the 6 credit minimum. We understand that financial aid is complicated, so we strongly recommend that you direct students to financial aid and scholarship services for any questions that you are not able to answer. Encourage them to ask for a financial aid counselor. Student workers sit at the front desk to answer questions, and they are good at their jobs, but they don't necessarily know the nuances of study abroad like the financial aid counselors do. So we want our students to talk directly to the counselors and not to the student workers at the front desk. The second type of funding that we talk about with students is scholarships and grants. There are myriad opportunities for students to apply for and receive scholarship money to go abroad, many of which are listed on our website. It may take some legwork, but it is possible. The Study Abroad Office is pleased to be able to provide grant and scholarship money to students studying abroad through our office. First, we offer Study Abroad Office travel grants. For students participating on a summer or semester program, these grants are $1,000. For students participating on a Global Intensive Experience program, the grants are $750. These grants are 75% need-based and 25% merit-based. Encourage your students to apply on the Study Abroad website. One of our biggest mantras with regard to financial aid and scholarship is, it never hurts to ask. In addition, our office is proud to offer planning scholarships of $4,000 and $2,000 to high-need first-generation students. While most scholarships might be categorized as just-in-time money, that is, students receive them just before they leave or once they're on the ground in their study abroad location, our planning scholarships are designed so that they are awarded after a student's freshman year. The student then has 5 semesters to use that scholarship. We hope that with mentoring and help with the planning from the Study Abroad Office, these students will be able to achieve their dreams of studying abroad. The planning scholarships are only available to second semester, first-generation freshmen, and the Study Abroad Office will actively reach out to these students to invite them to apply. There are also a number of departmental scholarships. We encourage you to see if your department or school offers any study abroad scholarships. If not, consider talking to your leadership about the possibility of creating a scholarship to encourage your students to study abroad. In addition to all the scholarships and grants we just discussed, our website also contains a huge list of external scholarships for which students might be eligible to apply. We always tell students that they will not be eligible for every scholarship listed, but they will certainly be eligible for some. Therefore, it's worth the extra time it takes to cull through that list and identify scholarships for which to apply. And while we do have a pretty long list of scholarships, it's certainly not comprehensive. After students have looked at all the scholarship opportunities we provide, we lastly encourage them to do a good old-fashioned Google search. You never know what's going to pop up and that might be applicable to that student. There are also some really incredible national competitive scholarships available for study abroad students. One that we highly encourage students to apply for is the Benjamin A. Gilman Scholarship. This scholarship can award up to $5,000 for summer study abroad, and average awards are about $4,000. It's important to be aware of the criteria for Gilman. First, students must be Pell Grant recipients. Also important to highlight, students must be in one country for 28 consecutive days. The Gilman Scholarship is designed to encourage diversity in all its various facets. Gilman preferences students who are going to non-traditional locations, that is, anywhere outside of Western Europe, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. In addition, Gilman preferences diversity in its students. Diversity in race and ethnicity, underrepresented majors such as science, technology, engineering, and math, non-traditional age students, students with families, diversity in all its forms. The Office of National Scholarship Advisement, housed in Barrett the Honors College, will help students with their Gilman application, and it should be noted that while non-traditional locations are preferred by Gilman, many students at ASU have been awarded the Gilman Scholarship for study in those countries considered traditional. Again, encourage students to apply. It never hurts to ask. As you're talking to students about any type of scholarship, the most important thing to highlight is that scholarship deadlines are incredibly early. Therefore, it's essential to start planning right now for any of these scholarship opportunities. The final way that we encourage students to fund their study abroad experiences is through community-based funding or using their networks to fundraise. One of the most popular ways our students raise money is through crowdsource funding. Students can create an online profile through platforms such as Fund My Travel, Kickstarter, or GoFundMe, and friends, families, and even complete strangers can donate directly to the student's online account. Our students have seen a great deal of success with this type of fundraising. While our website is always being updated, this page gives you a current sense of what other resources we are providing to our students. Encourage them to take a look by clicking on the Financing Your Study Abroad program link on our site. We also offer Financing Your Study Abroad workshops, both in person and online. We discuss this three-pronged approach to affording study abroad in more detail than we have done in this presentation. The dates and times will always be listed on our website, so when students ask, point them there for more information. As you recruit over the fall and spring semesters, remember the 3 C's as a useful tool for covering your most important marketing bases. First, cost. Tell students what your program fee includes and highlight all the amazing experiences they will have as a result of committing to the program. Point them to good resources about financial aid, scholarships and grants, and community-based funding. Second, course. Elaborate on how the courses you will teach will supplement their education and really focus on how the courses will fit into their major maps and how the program will effectively keep students on track for graduation. And finally, career. The benefits that come from study abroad are widely known to those of us who advocate it, but students may not fully understand the benefits. Flexible thinking, the opportunity to become more independent, deepening critical thinking skills, gaining a better understanding of our world, becoming more interculturally competent. These are the skills that employers are looking for, and these are the skills with which students inevitably return from an experience abroad. Highlight how this experience can set apart a resume, and talk to students about how the study abroad experience can be incorporated into an interview with great success. Focusing on the 3 C's as you talk to students about your program will help you remember to highlight the 3 biggest concerns of students and show them how advantageous and amazing studying abroad can be.
We hope that this presentation has provided you with some new insights on how you might market your program to students. The Study Abroad Office is committed to the success of your program, so please be sure to reach out to us with any questions or to brainstorm strategies. We hope you'll check out future webinars and workshops. To find out about other workshops, please just visit our webpage at the link shown on your screen.